Kalachinsky.
Huh? Say that again?
Urs Kalachinsky.
No. Say Kalichinsky.
Kalachinsky.
Hey, it's pretty good, man. I'm impressed. At least he said Kalachinsky.
Chinsky is. But Chris was the first guy, actually, which pronounced my name right in kind of way.
Well, it had to be the first guy after me.
Yeah, of course.
After me, I learned early.
He said first American.
I said first American is me.
He said first American.
Well, German. I guess if I remember correctly, I've been American for 58 years.
You're still a German potato.
Yeah, exactly.
So listen, let me tell you a quick story how I met Urs. I met him, I think it was 2019.
Oh, before he turned pro?
Yeah, he was an amateur. He came to...
Wait, was he of age?
Huh?
Was he of age?
Yes, he was 19. He was 19, I think, right?
I was 19.
Yeah, so he came to me at the gym where it's a bodybuilding club, so to speak. It's not really a gym like a commercial gym, but it's more like a club where you have to be a member to be able to get in. It's just really hardcore. So he was in there, and I remember he asked me to look at him, and I looked at him. What did I tell you?
Well, first of all, I need to tell, it was Dennis James, okay? I was from like the smallest village in Germany, and then you get the opportunity, okay? I'm still getting goosebumps like I did in Mexico when I first met Chris. Also crazy experience, guys. And I need to tell you, I was going there. I was standing up in the middle of the night, 3 p.m. Then I ordered my best friend, because I don't have a driver's license, and he had to drive me to this bodybuilding EV. That's the gym where we met.
The club, yes.
And I did everything. Also, my older brother came with me, and I was like, fuck, I gotta meet Dennis James. And then he said like, yeah, show me your physique, after we talked a little bit. And I was like, fuck, okay. Now it's time. First time ever posing in front of like a legend. And then all of a sudden, I hit the front double biceps, I hit the side chest, and then Dennis said like, 1 year and you're on the Olympia stage. And I was like, come on.
Wow.
And he wasn't even pro. He was an amateur. He literally turned pro within a couple of months after that.
2 weeks after.
Yeah, or a couple of weeks. And then I remember telling him, listen, jump into my show. Back in 2019, I had a pro classic physique pro event.
I did it, yeah.
He jumped in literally last minute and placed 5th in his first pro show.
Yeah. It was first call out, and I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Yes.
I remember you said something about him, I believe.
Yes. I know it. And after that, I told him, I said, one day you're going to be Mr. Olympia. I told him. I said, it's right there in front of you. You know? But you got to see it this way. One second, Urs, I'm sorry for cutting you off. He was 19. This dude is now what, 25?
25 is.
What the fuck? You know what I mean? He has all the time in the world. I didn't start training until I was 26.
I don't think like this.
I know, but I see it this way. You're 25. You're already where you're at your age. It's only a matter of time. Milos, what do you say?
Well, let me tell you, I was at the show and I see him competing. And as soon as, first, he's Polish. Second, he has that smile that basically, takes you. You cannot possibly not like him, right? And that he has the physique, structure, all this posing. Oh, my God. So after the show, we were mingling around. And then here's the kid. He ran to me and told me how he's a fan and everything else. And I was already a fan of him. And then brother is Kai, right? Yeah. Brother it was just like so pleasant. But characteristic thing with the Urs, look at this smile. You can't erase the smile off his face, but it's not just smile, but you feel that positive energy. I mean, how can you not love the guy? I've seen what you were saying, structure, that cannot be beaten, and structure set by CBUM. Okay, so if anybody has a closed structure, you shut the lights and look at the structure,
It's Earth.
It's Earth. Like, oh my, with crazy legs, with perfect calves and all that stuff. Knows how to pose, and everything was there, right? But when you turn the lights on, which of course I have to say that too, you can still see, okay, now some things are missing. Conditioning is always crazy, off the chart, but you need a little bit more mass for CBUM-like physique that's going to dominate. And even first time when you competed at Olympia, you were so close. And of course now every show that you enter, you're favorite to win, except when you go against CBUM and Ramon Dino, right? So this is your competition. Okay, Dennis, I'll tell you, I saw him last year at Olympia, like a couple of days before, and I asked him how he's doing, right? And he was like, so confident he's going to win. But then I gave him that brotherly question, how's your back, right? To touch his back just to see if he improved. And it improved, right? But I said, well, is this enough for BUMSTEAD? Because BUMSTEAD has that cobra, V-taper, and then detail and all that stuff. So wait until you see it. And yeah, you were excellent, but you still didn't beat the champ. So hopefully this year you're ready for it.
Yeah, I mean, like I said,
guys, sorry to interrupt you, Dennis, but
absolutely. Go ahead. You can interrupt me all day.
You guys kicking my ass the last weeks because every morning I'm watching one of you guys' old school DVDs. I shut the social media a little bit off and just got into this bodybuilding love again, so crazy. And this morning I watched Phil Heath and you, Dennis, back in Thailand training and doing all this stuff. And then I saw it with Phil. I mean, 2008, 2009, 2010. He worked his way up. He wasn't just there, and then he won that 7 Olympia titles. So at the end of the day, I try to improve every year, every show, everything I'm doing, and I think nobody can say I didn't improve every show, and I just need my little bit of time because I'm young, and to build up this physique, you need some kind of time in this. I mean, we see it with Samson 3 years ago. Samson was fighting for a first call out, and now he's dominating. So I think a little bit of time, and like I always said, I take my time. I don't rush anything because it's not the open class where you can say okay, we can go harder and build up more muscles. I just want to slightly improve every show I'm doing, and I'm pumped for this year's Arnold's. That's all I can say.
That was my advice to you when I first met you. Also, was you have time to do it correctly, and when you going up against tougher and tougher competition, just stick to your guns, play your own game, and that's what I said. When I first saw you, I said I wanted to do the same thing. I said, let me see what you look like. Let me see some of your pose. Let me see if you can fix a couple of things. Let me see. I haven't pegged you to win that show in TJ. I thought you were the best one. Huh?
You fixed my side chest one day.
Yeah, one day before. But yeah, tell us about that little situation, how that felt, and what that meant to you. That I was like, okay, all you need is a little bit of time, just like these guys said the same thing.
Yeah, I mean you can't realize it, when you just get there, and then you work until you get to the top. And now when the competition is getting better and better, you always try to do everything more perfect and really try to build up the physique. And I try to balance out, because first pro shows I did, my legs were always bigger than the rest, and now I matched it with the upper body and the arms and the back, and slowly but surely it's that that overall
complete look
I see as an artist, I posted on Instagram, I see it like an artist which comes together perfectly, and that's always my goal. Aesthetic is Milos posted a great picture from both of us, and I always like admired Milos for his aesthetically pleasing physique. I mean, I love also the freaks we had like Marcus and you, Dennis, but I also would say like I loved your physique the most when you wasn't at your biggest. For me, that was like just art, you know. But in this time you competed in, you had to like go up with the weight. That's
Yeah.
I gave Dennis a bunch of watermelons to swallow. So
I still got him. But listen, but here's why I say what I said about Urs. Not only does he have the genetics, and he has the work ethic, and he has that German mentality where you don't leave any stones unturned. And that's the difference between a lot of other guys that I've met throughout the years. They were not from Germany. They just see things a little bit more easy in bodybuilding. You know, when it comes to diet all year round, they're not as strict as we were when, you know, in Germany. We have a diet in off season that we stick to. Yeah, everybody, you say of course because it's normal for us. That's not normal for most bodybuilders. I'm telling you. Mel, I'm talking about my time, at least my time. These guys that ate whatever, they wouldn't know how much protein they eat a day. They have no idea. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm saying you're going to make it. You know, it's just a matter of time. You know, worst case scenario, Chris Bumstead is a dominant champ. We have to agree. There's no other way around it. And we try to break him down so many times, especially Milos. And he also said when he came that 1 year, when he improved his back tremendously in 1 year, that's when he said, okay, I mean, he might not be beat. You know, it helps to be a 5-time champ, of course. So, but there will be a day where Chris Bumstead's going to retire. And then who's going to, or somebody will, whoever, somebody's have to take over. So then right now there's 2 guys everybody's looking for, and that's Ramon and Urs. What the fuck did just happen? Did you see that?
Yeah, Balloon, you're celebrating something.
Yeah.
You're celebrating birthday.
Well, who?
President's Day.
Nico, what's going on here? Balloons going up? It's going to be either Urs. It's going to be either Urs or Ramon, and I think that Urs has everything to take over from then on. I believe it. Ramon is a don't get me wrong. Ramon is a fierce competitor. You know what I'm saying?
But it gives me even more smile, because imagine you're stepping on that stage and you don't have a real like an enemy. I go to the gym every morning. I have a picture from Ramon right in front of me. When I stay up, okay, I go right out of bed and I see in his eyes and I say like, no, this day I'm gonna win. And then, you know, that's the only way how to improve, you know. If you don't have this rivalry, you never be a great champion. And I want to be a great champ for a long time. So that kicks my ass and gets me fired up, you know. I don't want to like win against some guys. I want to win against the best in the world, and I also want to win against Chris, you know. If you would say like I do 5 more years, I would try every day. I would work my ass off to get him.
Right.
And that's super cool, and I'm so thankful for that, because without this, I wouldn't do that jumps I can possibly do. And I don't think guys in the other categories, like in Samson in the Open without the HADI right now, he wouldn't like work so hard.
Yeah.
And that's a great thing in the sport, and that's why I love him. And what happens on the day of the show, it's gonna happen, you know. Sometimes crazy things going on, but this time I definitely did my homeworks, you know. And
so Urs, if I can ask you, because we all fans of your physique, your structure, but then we see you working with Heiko Kalabach, with Marcus Rule. You were training there with Samson.
Heiko is.
What do you mean? What do you mean working with them, Milos?
Training.
Oh, that was probably just for content.
You know, either and Marcus Rule, but when you can see that he's closing gap in size, right? And there was a moment when they said there's no way Urs can come back down to the classic, he's so big. I mean, you look thick, you look round, your side chest pose was like ridiculous, and with your trademark conditioning. I mean, in the middle of the off season, you look like Hadi Chupan 3 weeks out.
You know what I call? You know what I call that? A fucking professional.
Of course.
That's a professional.
Listen, when you were saying the other thing, how we have a diet all year long, and it's normal to us, but it's not normal for them. I don't understand that, right?
Yeah.
Every single day you have an opportunity to improve. Anything you put in your mouth is for a reason. So how can you allow yourself to just, get fat or
But you know, Milos, you know more than anybody. Most of these guys don't follow anything in off season.
No, but that's what Dennis said. It's a German thing. It sounds funny or stupid to someone, but
Yeah.
I'm so precise with anything. And it was funny. I came to the US the first time, and my better half Alicia, my girlfriend, did my meals, and then somebody said to me, "What? You don't have a meal prep company?" And then we don't have those things over here. And then I saw like a promotion video from a meal prep company. They put like oil in the pan and do some cardamoms in it and just throw it in. And then like, yeah, it's also with the cooked and uncooked weights. We had two cups of rice, and I was like, "What is 2 cups? There are cups like this." And cups like, more hungry on this thing. Take a big
I feel you. That was me 20 years ago, 25 years ago. I said,
Exactly.
have a cup of rice. What the fuck is a cup of rice? I said to myself, what cup? I can get a cup as big as a fucking,
Yeah.
But there is a measurement in the US cups. You can buy this in the stores. It's 1 cup now. But what is it, a cup? The rice pressed in? Or can I fill this thing up on top of it? How big is it? At the end of the day, we go by grams. We weigh our food, and that's how we know what we put in our belly. That's very important. A lot of things going to get answered next week at the Arnold, in open and in classic, because there's 2 fights going on. That's you and Urs, and there's Samson and Hadi, and a lot of things will. Huh?
You said you against Earth.
No, you and Ramondino. I'm sorry.
but Ramon was
You and Ramon and Samson and Hadi, and a lot of things get answered that will play a major role at the end of the year at the Olympia. So now let me ask you this. This is my question to you, because everybody sees 3 guys. Is there anybody in Classic that you look at is like, this guy can be dangerous very quick, very soon?
I mean, I see some physiques I really love from a like bodybuilding fan perspective, like in Wesley, for example. Wesley looks great. I mean, of course, I mean when we go out of bodybuilding criteria, he is lagging some legs and some kind of stuff, and maybe the line is not perfect, but for me, aesthetically pleasing, he looks just so good. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's always hard to tell because I'm an athlete right now and I'm not in a position to judge anything or something.
I understand, but as an athlete or as a competitor, you look at your competition. Not only who's in front of you, you look a little bit behind. You want to see, is anybody coming?
I never look behind.
Okay, different question. Former 2-time Mr. Olympia, BREON ANSLEY, is he anything to worry about for you?
Honestly, not.
No, huh? Why is that?
Because I beat him at the Olympia, I beat him at the last Arnold's, and since that, I definitely improved. He did also a great improvement from the Arnold to the Olympia, but I just think I'm fresher and younger, and I have more room to grow, and.
But I'm asking you this question.
I don't want to talk anything off of this guy because
Right.
I love him.
No, he's absolutely fantastic.
But
I don't want to ask Chris because Chris is biased. So I'm asking you.
I'm not biased.
Hold on. No, but you would be. I'm asking you, as a former 2-time Classic Physique Olympia, why do you think he's not in the mix of winning shows? What do you think is it?
I think he is great, but he just reached his full potential. And now he starts to, you know, I also had my lagging body parts, but I start to improve them and they get better. And for him, it's going in the other way, you know, like with, for example, the legs since like 1 or 2 years, you can see, okay, also with Chris, his legs, they're not that like
The sweep.
crazy
The sweep.
anymore. Sweep is starting to miss, and that's normal, I would say,
Yeah.
because you just have like it's going up like this, like a mountain, and you have your peak years, and then it's slightly going down. And I think BREON is here-ish, and I'm just here on the mountain, and now I surpassed him. Maybe not with a big jump, but I surpassed him, Ramon and I, and he's going, yeah, to the end of his career now. So
Milos, what do you think?
Well, I love Urs' analytical mind, right? And his confidence and everything he said. So let's analyze. I said first, 2019, that BREON should have beat Chris Bumstead. And
You
2019,
said that?
oh yeah,
I got murdered for it because I was telling the truth.
well, I repeated like
everyone keeps saying about Chris's back improved. Yeah, you improved in 220, not in 219, and he didn't have it.
Listen,
He didn't have like that. And he didn't deserve to win the show.
All right, let's give Milos the mic for
And
a second.
it's someone's legacy you're playing with. Is what I'm saying.
Okay, go ahead, Milos. Go ahead.
I mean, I talked about this, but I'm glad that because Chris is BREON's coach, and of course, then he would be labeled biased. I mean, I do want to say this.
Not biased.
Asking somebody and appraising their physique had nothing to do with anything. So I would say my athlete, not athlete, I'm judging the physique. So here it is, and Urs knows. What is classic physique? Structure, okay? And then, you know, hit poses, you have a very limited poses. Front double biceps, back double biceps. Those are two like main ones, right? Biceps and back. Biceps and back alone, when you look, BREON would kill Chris Bumstead at that time. It was not even close, right? I mean, there was no comparison. And there was George Peterson as well. I even said that George should be, it would be between George Peterson and BREON instead of Chris Bumstead. This is how I saw it. But then it was explained to me, this is not classic bodybuilding. We don't look Serge Nubret type of physiques, more muscles. We were looking for structure. And then was explained to me that structure means everything, which is that wide shoulder, small waist, flat stomach, flowing everything and not too big. And then I said, okay. And I made some comments. There's no way that Chris Bumstead beats them in bodybuilding contest. Okay, if you're looking like this, it's different judging. No way in bodybuilding contest. 2020, he showed up and beat them by any judging criteria. He would won bodybuilding contest and he won a classic physique. Okay, this is how I look at it. But to say something about BREON, because even Urs is like such a gentleman and nice guy. He just said, okay, he doesn't believe it's his competition. Respect to BREON, but he thinks that he already surpassed him and is not going to be a danger. It's Urs is looking in one direction, not back. I do think, and I'm going to say this to Chris as well, that BREON has improved last year, and he keeps improving. So, I mean, bringing something back. So he's going to be a legitimate contender, by all means. Yeah. But anyway, as far as bodybuilding contest in a classic physique, they obviously have a paragon, the picture of the champion, Chris Bumstead. So for me, anybody that is closer to Chris Bumstead has better chances. Urs already 2 years ago established himself standing right there in that front relaxed pose. B-taper is there, sweeping thighs was there, everything was there, so close, possibly giving him run for the money until they turned around and there was like back double biceps. Urs, how in open bodybuilding they were saying, shows the one from the back double biceps determines like so much. So is in your classic physique, right? And as a friend, when I was telling you, this is like one area and a pose that Chris still beats you. You know, he doesn't have a greatest arms on earth that you cannot, catch his arms. He doesn't have a greatest abs on earth that you cannot compete. He doesn't have a greatest legs. Go ahead.
Yeah. I think it's just his overall physique and his flow. I mean, it's amazing, When you see, I always judge the whole package itself. When you go like by muscles, it's not a muscle against muscle contest. It's not like in the challenger rounds where you can go out and say like most muscular, and then everybody or the battle in between needs to hit it. It's more like you go on stage and present the whole thing. And I mean, that's what, especially in classic, matters more than anything,
He is very special. We all know he is very special, dominant champion, right? He has that wow. He goes there and it's like show is over right away. But interestingly, he said, okay, body parts. If you, that's where I was going. If you cut everything else out of the picture, look at the legs, and you put your legs next to him, you can beat him. You have a cleaner cuts, better sweep, better calves, crazy glutes, right? So just analyzing.
Classic physique, yeah, that's just...
Yeah. But this is what I'm saying. So BUMSTEAD doesn't have a great arms, right? Especially biceps. But you don't see it. Once you start posing, right? I catch myself, you don't even see it.
Yeah.
He's master of presentation, and really, he is probably sure to be a winner or at least a major favorite for as long as he wants to compete. And I know that you are trying to close the gap. So did you close the gap?
Between me and Chris?
Yeah.
I would say it's hard to tell because we need to wait until the end of this year. And right now I don't have my mind in like, I always look like in the next one in front of me, and that's Dino. And that's the guy I want to beat next. And when I accomplished it, like I did in 2019, 2020, then then I can say, okay, now it's time to battle it against Chris. But right now, the battle we're gonna see in 11 days.
Yeah, you never beat Dino before, right?
Oh, I him at my first Olympia.
Oh, in the first, the first Olympia, he got 4th or 5th. Right. But after that, he won every time.
Yeah, and the judges told me in the finals of last year's ARNOLD, it was close because that was a different package I brought in the evening.
Mm-hmm.
So until now.
So where are you weight wise? What's your weight limit?
My weight limit is now 103 kilograms.
103 kilograms. That's in pounds for the people that don't know kilograms. 230. No, it's wait. 103 times 2.2, 226.6.
Okay.
So and what is your weight? What was your weight at the Olympia? What did you weigh in at?
On stage?
No. At the weigh-ins. We only go by the weigh-ins when you have to check your weight.
Like 102-ish, 102, I think.
So you only have 2 pounds left.
Yeah.
So okay.
But a funny story. Ramon at last year's Arnold's, you guys remembered, he didn't make weight the first time. And you know what his weight was at the Olympia at the weigh-in? He also has 103 kilograms. It was 101 kilograms.
So he was light. It was light at the Olympia.
4 pounds lighter at the Olympia stage, but the package was dramatically improved. So then it is the question: why always is everybody about the weight?
No, I'm just asking because there is a weight cap at Classic. That's why I'm asking you. I don't care how much you weigh, to be honest. It's just I know you can't be over.
You see that like with Chris also, he was like probably the same weight and some year also lighter, especially for two years ago, where everybody said he looked like 10 pounds bigger, but he was lighter in this year, he told me. But the illusion just looked so much.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I remember in my case, I competed at high 50s, but my best look was when I was 42, 242.
So true. That's why I didn't focus on this. I need to say fucking weight this time, because it's always like, yeah, you need to be so close. You need to weigh in with 102.9 kilograms.
Ah, bullshit.
I'm like, no, I'm not.
Listen.
Not like weight. It's like you need to bring perfect package. That's the point.
Exactly. Your job is only to make weight.
Yeah.
Don't worry about nothing. Don't let people tell you you have to be fucking 100 grams under your limit. Just make weight. Make weight. Make sure you look great, and that's it.
Because most of the people think like when I weigh in with 102.9 kilograms or like 125 pounds, and then carb up to like 135 or 240 pounds, I will look like crazy on stage. But that's not the truth. We all know.
No, and no one really knows how much you weigh. They only know you made weight. They don't know how much you weigh. We don't judge people by weight and classic. We judge you by what you look like.
People are in Germany, for example.
But listen, you already know both sides of this whole thing, so you don't have to worry about what people in Germany think.
Yeah, but I wanted to say to all the listeners, because you are all legends and you all did it in the sport, that you can like also give my argument like and push and say fuck weight. It's not a weight when weight and size would be anything, the elephant would be the king of the jungle, and that's not the case. So.
Chris, you good?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm just asking.
Yeah. So the weight don't matter at all. We got that. For many years, so I know you keep listening to people in Germany, but they're not actually up there or been up there before. So they don't really know that part.
I mean, listen, let's put it in perspective. You are in classic physique way above than what I was in the open bodybuilding, right? You have already achieved top 3 at Olympia, and you are so popular for many reasons, for your physique, your demeanor, the what kind of champion you are, and that you are next. I've seen you 10 times, and 10 times together, maybe if I would get your body fat percentage, it was never over 3%. I mean, I don't care when I see you, your conditioning was spectacular. Dennis, I'm going to tell you this one. Before the Olympia, a couple of years ago, Regan calls me, like he's going to the gym, and he goes, hey, I have somebody here. And then he turns the phone to URS. He says, hey, he's going to train with him. Can I train him? So, of course, I said, let me run there. And after training, we went to the posing room. And that was...
Still sore. My hamstring is still sore from this set.
Yeah, good. I mean, we did a great job, but besides, he went into that posing room 2 weeks out. Conditioning was Andreas Munzer. It was like, just like shocker. You look in this, the glutes were not just striated, but the ropes, they are going like this, and he's master of it, right? He will know how. So my question for you is, and I know that you were always super low carbs, and then you get there, and you get there well ahead of the time, well ahead of the time. How do you keep that? Now, it's one thing getting there, and the other thing is, how do you keep there? This kind of conditioning. That 2 weeks out, you could have stepped on the stage and dominate.
It's a cool question, Milos. I try to get my body in another set point, I mean it by I don't get fat in the off season, and honestly, how like athletes in the off season from the open look like, I would never want to look like this. And I always tried your kind of way, or like the old school way, to stay like mid 80s, early 90s style, before like in Yates area where they blew up. I tried to keep it always, in shape. And then my body set point changed from like, okay, now I can live the whole year with 8 or 7% of body fat and still can progress in the gym. And I mean, I had a very, very good training session today, and I'm like, guys, I tell you, I'm fucked. I'm like, it's hard to put off my socks in the evening to get in the bed, and to brush my teeth. I need to think twice about it, because living is extreme right now. But this, like doing it in the off season with staying lean and don't go high with the body fat, allows me to like lift heavier and better, also closer to a show. And where we all know, when you keep like your training weights high, your muscle stays there. So when you don't have, I don't drop down with the training weights. I still did like my regular training and my off season weights. I moved in the off season. I'm doing it still 2 weeks out, and then the last week I back it off a little bit to just like give the body enough recovery time to fresh up and look like full and good on stage and recovered. So that's like.
Can you repeat this, because this is very important? In nowadays, when all the people are overtraining, all that stuff, you don't need it, less is more, and all the bullshit. You just said you train so goddamn hard that you have a hard time, brushing the teeth and putting the socks on. And I've been there, because Dan has been there, and Chris, training to the exhaustion, like a zombie. It's sacrifices, right? And not too many people want to go there. I mean, which old timers, us, we were talking, you guys don't train as hard, or you don't diet as strict, and these kind of things, right? And that's the truth, with the exception of some guys like yourself, which you can see. You not just match our conditioning, you actually are, outpassing us with conditioning like yours. And condition like this does not come with so diet, and you just said you suffer, right? You're tired. Go ahead.
That's the way to go. That's the only way. That's all he knows.
That's the way how it works. And I don't see, I'm eating like 1,800 to 2,000 calories with my weight, and I see like amateurs say, okay, I need to go down to 2,600 cals or 2,400, and they weigh like 80 kilograms, and I'm like,
I eat twice as much as you.
and then they say like, yeah, but your genetics, they are so good for getting peeled. And I'm like, what kind of genetics? That's why I love condition, and I always loved condition. But because with condition, you see how hard the athlete really can push himself through those boundaries.
But
that's a genetics for conditioning. That's not hard work.
No. But listen, but that shows you exactly like what he said. He said he's looking at the guys from the 80s and the 90s. And back then, exactly. And he said back then, everybody suffered, or almost everybody. Everybody was in shape. Today it's not like that no more. I got to say one thing, though. I got to give Classic a lot of credit, because when I look at the Classic physique, they're almost all in great shape.
Yeah.
So compared to the big guys, I mean, when it comes to condition, Classic would wipe the floor with everybody. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, I think
years.
Yeah.
For years.
And I like that, And like I said, Urs he's focused. He knows he can win. He knows he's this close. He knows it. He knows it. And now is the time. If he would be 35, I wouldn't say what I'm saying right now. But you 25 years old, I say it right here, right now. You are Mr. Olympia no later than 2025.
I was going to say, yeah. You have marks all over the place.
Yeah, no later than 20, 25. If you keep doing what you're doing, you stay safe, you stay healthy, you don't hurt yourself. And not getting fat is healthy. It's much healthier than getting fat and losing all the body weight again, and that's not good for your heart. So what you're doing is exactly what you're supposed to do, and I like that.
I think like about a year and a half ago, you had gained a lot of weight, though. You remember that?
Yeah, because that was that one time everybody said like, oh, what the judges, which is my like, I always ask the judges about the opinion of my physique and not the people, you know, or like very good athletes like you guys are, or like very good judges. And then they said like, yeah, you need to really bulk up, and that was this one time I really weighed up with the weight, but I still had cross striations in my quads and my glutes.
Don't say glutes to Milos and Chris. I think I don't want nobody to hear this, but they're the only two that never had striations in their glutes.
Never. Don't say never.
Show her a picture. Hey, I'm gonna make sure. Kylie finds. Okay, we'll have this.
Don't say never.
This will air on Sunday. I will ask Kylie to find the picture.
Listen, it was never ever my goal in any competition I ever been.
It wasn't my goal either. It just happened.
But you don't have much.
I didn't. What? I got a big ass. I had a big.
Come on now.
My ass was bigger than yours back then.
Stop it,
Chris. Milos, was my ass.
My family got a big.
My family too. My family too.
And striated.
And listen, I never in my life trained for striations in my glutes, and I never trained glutes either. I never did that. It's not necessary.
Urs didn't particularly, when he started, focus on, okay, let's make this crazy.
But when you get
glutes separately, I honestly.
Yeah, when you get in shape, your glutes come in.
Yeah. I mean, your legs are spectacular. But this is what I want to ask you, Urs, and I know that you're a humble champion, but you also believe in yourself. In which areas, we're not going to focus on Chris now, we're focusing on Ramon. In which areas you think you can beat him? What would be your strengths that you know that judges would have to consider, okay, when they compare you and give you a nod?
Details, posing, overall flow, or my line, I would say, and then my dominant legs.
Yeah, good. You see, Dennis, you also said about Classic being so overwhelmingly better conditioned than Open. What else is for Classic? They pose much better.
Yeah.
I mean, so we are sentimentally connected with all of you guys. We love it. I mean, the Open division, when I see your routines, choreography, I know that I think your mother was a gymnast, dancer, right? You have that skill. And, I'm just saying it, keep it alive. I mean, every time they see there is this 8 mandatory poses. Oh, by the way, I said at last podcast, Nick Walker is never going to win the posing round. And he texted me last night, you're ready to retire, I'm working on it. I say, hey, Nick, doing a mandatory poses 3 times around, during a posing, it doesn't count as a posing routine. But on a serious note, I mean, you guys keep that sport alive, posing alive. I mean, they say classic pose of your choice. Pretty much every pose in your routine is classic pose of your choice.
So excited, guys! Say the routine this year.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
You're gonna win the Best Poser Award.
I have it here next to me.
But you're gonna win this coming Arnold Best Poser Award, right? You hope so.
I hope so. I worked my ass off for it. And the one thing one tip I can give all those listeners, they are also competing. Try to create your routines in the off season, because we all know how hard life gonna be 4 weeks out, 3 weeks out, 2 weeks out. And then when you start with it, it's it's fucking too late.
Yep, yeah.
Because you don't want to exercise it anymore. So just set up your routine in the off season when you have all the power, and then you can change something when you see, okay, now I'm more conditioned, this pose looks better. And yeah, that's a great thing that helped me a lot.
So do you still practice a complete routine, or you know your poses, you know you're transitioning, you know from what pose you can go into what pose, or you just choose a song that fits and works for you that time?
No, I work with 100% because I have like my cutter and my DJ, and I always do like those special things, and also I do some stuff with like the beats. I put them up and slow them down, so you hear acoustically. This you can. I had the same song like Samson at last year's Arnold's, but my one was better to hear because we changed some things, and in a big auditory, um, the beat sounds different. You know, it has something to do with our acoustic and all this stuff. So we that are my little secrets I implement to like do it more shocking. Or when I have a pose, I grind up some of those notes, and then it creates another flow. You know, it's just like more dramatic, and you get those goosebumps on your skin. And then I always have my show part, and that makes me exciting, you know, because we all know how long a competition can be. And when you have all those athletes posing, like Milo said, there are mandatory 3 rounds of posing, and the guy next to you in the publicum starts to snoring, and you know, okay, you need to change something. It needs to be like in 1983 Olympia with Samuel Banu, and the whole Munich escalated. You know, the like that's bodybuilding. You know, when everybody's going crazy, and that's what I try to bring on that stage: some entertainment for the crowd, some entertainment for the people, which buy their tickets and come to the shows. And like I always need to say, the 2019 experience at the Dennis James Classic, that was like, sorry to say that, but I was at a lot of competitions in Middle East, in the US, and guys, that was
It's a different level.
that was just crazy.
Yeah.
I mean,
So happy to hear this. I mean,
and not only for the Germans, you know, there were guys from Iceland, from I don't know.
Yeah, I had 27 countries at the show.
On stage, and then we talked backstage, and they were like, "Wow, what's going on here?" And I mean, everybody, we all competed or stayed on the biggest stages, and when the crowd is going crazy, that's like so hard.
Robin Chang was there the first 2 years, and he looked at me, he said, "That's Olympia atmosphere right there."
wow.
Yeah.
You know? Asked,
Yeah.
you know who also was there? Nathan the Asher was there one year. And what's the other
Big Ramy was also there.
but yeah,
I mean,
before the one who died from
Paul.
Huh?
Paul Polacek.
No. I'm talking about another pro from England. What's his name? Good guy.
Oh, the one with the beard.
Yes. Fuck. The one that,
He was the Shed's friend.
the one who suicide. Huh?
Sasha Davis.
Luke.
Luke Sando.
Luke Sando.
Yes, he was there too that year because they were both with a sponsor that sponsored the show, and yeah, that's unbelievable.
And that's great. I mean, that's bodybuilding, and I hope this year's at the Arnold we're gonna like all of those athletes. Also, like an appel to all my open class colleagues and friends. Please, let's bring out a show which gonna be unforgettable, because don't know how long the Arnold's gonna be there and how excited this everything gonna be. So just try to create some great atmosphere for the people, the live streams, for everybody who's watching, because that is what makes bodybuilding great. And
And plus, the live stream is going to be free this year. That's let the people know. There's no charge for the live stream, from what I heard.
Yeah.
And are you doing the UK Arnold too?
Yes, sir.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so
Yeah.
you're going.
Yeah, I want to use this opportunity. Really, how often do you hear this? Such an enthusiasm talking about this posing routine that he's practicing. He has the music. He's going to have a beats. He wants to entertain the crowd, bring the house down. And Urs knows already. He's not really judging posing routines. I mean, that's the thing that I was going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Don't kill the bodybuilding. So, most of the guys, and I have, guys, why would I practice when they don't judge? I'm not going to be scored on it. Okay, what did Urs just say? He wants to entertain the crowd. He wants the people that were falling asleep, like you said, watching, guys doing nothing. You want to wake them up and bring the house down. Posing round should be, again, judged. And if not judged in even open, you should be judged in your classic. That's my thing. Every time I raise my opinion and say, shut the fuck up, don't say nothing, be heard a million times. But listen, you're doing that choreography. And now, as Dennis was saying, mastery of posing transitions. What goes after another? Balance, direction, those big points. You're working on it. I mean, I'm not going to judge you. So, Urs, front double, back double, side chest, ab shot, classic pose of your choice, and repeat that 5 times. And you're going to have a great routine. And you're going to get the response. That's not it. Arnold, Frank Zane, anybody else, look at their routines. They hardly did mandatories, and they have all these signature poses. So you have your signature poses, and I hope, this is another thing, that you're making new ones, okay? And I know how probably you have that. When I was starting, you look at Sean Ray and Bob Paris and whoever else, right? And you pick up something.
You say, sorry to interrupt you, but fuck that, if it's judged or not, that's not the thing, because I want to do it. It's like in 20 years, the young gun's gonna say, wow, that's the pose Urs always hit, and that's his routines, they're absolutely crazy. And we all know that, I mean, Kai Green's 30 Diana choreography, it was I was sitting there like this, what the fuck is happening there? And I mean, that's the thing, and also maybe you lose, okay? Last year I got second, but I was going outside at the Arnold's and watched Saturday's finals, and the people came and stopped by and said wow, your routine was absolute. I mean, that was the best thing in the evening. And I was like, wow, okay, that's
a confirmation that you're doing everything right.
Yeah, that's cool. And I mean,
you just keep doing what you're doing, man. I'm telling you, keep doing what you're doing now. Don't let anybody tell you nothing. Whatever you're doing is working for you. It's working. Your popularity is on top. You don't have to worry about nothing. You just got to make sure you are you. And as long as you can be you and don't have to change and be fake, you're on the right track. Because nobody can smile or be nice all the time when it's not real. You know what I'm saying? So, and therefore, be you and don't worry about nothing. I guarantee you don't have to worry about nothing. Ever. Only stay safe.
Yeah.
And stay healthy. That's it. You don't have nothing else to worry about. I guarantee you, you have a picture-perfect career that you already started. You're already in it. You're already on top. You got to go all the way on top, but you're already there. And you're only 25. That's why I'm saying it's about your age, because you're 5 years old, man. You're a little kid. Don't get me wrong. No pun intended. You know what I'm saying? I can't. Sometimes I'm telling myself, look what this guy's already achieved. At 25.
I try my best to work my ass off for that.
I'm sorry, Chris. Go ahead, Chris.
So how long do you feel like you want to? Do you want to be in your upper 30s and into your 40s type of bodybuilding, or are you trying to retire?
I just
Chris,
my fight.
He already talked about retirement.
Oh, but I had it in my mind when I was a teenager. I'm gonna go closer to that 40 mark, but I knew that 40 mark is that's where you're gonna,
I mean, it always depends when I see like, okay,
You got it. You go as long as you got it.
when I see let's say, I don't know, let's say I'm 36 and it's so close, I get my, I don't know, I say something, I get my 5th title and I want to beat Chris with 6 titles, for example. And then I don't say like, yeah, okay, but I said 10 years ago, now it's time. And with 36, I'm going to end this or like whatever, you know? So
with 36, you're going to have 10. You heard it. Hey, you heard it here first.
I've been very close, and I've been loving the classic division since it started. I always liked, that was always my idea of what bodybuilding should look like.
Yeah, because that's like how you guys look back in the days, and it's I admire this look. I started to watch Flex Wheeler. I started to watch Milo Sarchev. I started to watch Chris Cormier. Dennis, I say honestly, you were too big. But
that happened when I met Milos, though. Don't blame me. Blame him.
Hey, that was your strength.
Who was a guinea pig back then?
Those were those physique I looked up to, and I said like, yeah, that's unbelievable. And I was so happy. I mean, rest in peace. But when Sean Roden won the Olympia with like how many kilos? 108, and around my height.
How heavy was he? Was he 240?
Yeah, he was around 240, and I mean he won the Olympia title, and this day I was like, wow, that's like amazing. That's why I also, when you ask me between the battle of the big guys, I mean Hadi and Samson, of course, I want to see Hadi. I want to see Samson on winning the Olympia, because
I know that you.
And also, it's because it's just like his overall package. It's just aesthetic, good proportioned. He has those mass. He looks like bigger than a classic guy, of course, and that's why I want to see him win.
Okay, Urs, I know you got to go because you said you have an appointment.
Yeah.
Let me get from you before you leave now the top 6 in the Open for the Arnold, because I can't let you go without that. In particular order, we're going for 6 today. This is the last one we got before the show that will air. So today is what we really mean. Okay, so Urs, before you leave, give me your top 6.
Milos, what do you?
No! Don't ask Milos. Milos
You already know.
Milos will be Samson, fucking James and Horse. Okay, go ahead, Urs.
I have Samson winning. Mm-hmm. I have Hadi in second, and then I go with Rafa.
Mm-hmm.
Then I go with Horse, and then with James.
And 6th place?
Who did I forgot?
You forgot. I'm gonna go down the list. Akeem Williams, John De La Rosa, Justin Rodriguez, Antoine Wayan. Who else am I missing? Chris? Who am I missing? Moshe Ban. Yep.
Okay. And then I need to see. Moment. Here I have the list. So Samson, then Samson, Hadi, Rafa, James Hollingshead, and
you had Horse after Rafael.
Yeah, I go with Horse, and then with James.
And number 6.
And then I go with Antoine.
Okay.
I think he's peeled and he's looking great.
Yeah, absolutely. Urs, man.
Dennis, ask him about classic one as well.
Who?
Come on,
I can't ask him. He's competing. Do you want to give me the top 6 in classic? Just your top 6. Me not doing it. We not doing it.
One Urs Kalashinsky, and the rest is.
You don't care.
Yeah.
The rest.
I wish all the other guys a great competition.
Yeah.
All right, brother.
Thanks for
Listen,
coming.
thank you for making the time, man. I'll call you to talk to you. I got to let you know something else, okay? Be safe.
Yeah.
Stay relaxed.
guys.
Get here safe and go kill it, champ.
Awesome. Hey, thank you guys, and
All right,
have a
my
great,
man.
evening.
All right.
Great day.
Jacqueline Marzo.
Man.
All right.
I'll see you
Thanks, man.
backstage.
Okay.
I love it.
Nico? Oh, okay. He's out. All right. So, good guy, huh?
You know that he had a 1 hour. I was gonna
Yeah,
ask
yeah, yeah. He said he has an appointment. That's why I was looking at the time the whole time to make sure he's not missing out on that. But listen, great kid, huh?
Unbelievable. I mean, that
Yeah.
energy is Christ.
Yeah.
I mean, smile year to year, and you can, like I said, you can't fake it.
No, you
cannot
can't.
fake it.
You can fake it once or twice, but not all the time.
Nicest guy, and he has what it takes. You know, now he's living the dream. You know, Chris is asking for retirement. I mean, you never want to retire from something that you love doing. I mean,
Yeah,
Jesus,
yeah.
and getting better. Ed, you at that level. You know, Chris, you were so
I
close
didn't for him to think about retirement. I was wondering if he had a plan in his career, what he's thinking about doing. Because a lot of these
Germans a little different. Germans a little different, Chris. They think like at his point where he's at right now, he doesn't think about anything past winning the Olympia.
Yeah.
For him, there's one goal right now, that's is to win the Olympia. And after that, you can ask him questions. This is the way people feel.
But I was saying this when I met him when he was, I think he might have been 21 or.
When he was in Tijuana, when he got second to Mike Sommerfeld?
Yeah. At that time, I was like, man, just, take your time. You got so much time. And he was like, oh, I want it now. I want it now. I don't want to wait. I'm like, bro, I said, you're going to look a certain way. And there's nothing you can do about it at 25. You're going to probably arrive at 25. But his back issues and stuff like that is only because of his age.
Yeah.
And because of the time it fill out that type of structure.
Yeah.
And that's all that is. So it's going to come in time, but he's improved, his training over the years, and he improved everything, the posing, the grasp for what you should be trying to bring to the stage. All this stuff is improving. I think he went for that whole trying to be a little bit more massive, trying to please the judges type of thing. And I never really went to judges and like, hey, what do you think? Because I already had like a plan of what I wanted to do and how I wanted to bring it. I didn't think I needed to be 300 pounds, even though like it came a time I'm like, okay, I want to just go for all this mass, but it was never, I never really felt like that was the look I should be trying to go for, is trying to be 300 pounds.
But you never know, Chris, because in your case, with such good symmetry, who knows what you would have looked like 20 pounds even heavier.
Oh, I would have brought it that 2000 after the 99 happened. I was bringing it, man. I was telling you, I was 282 and I was in shape and I was 2 months out. Didn't do that damn show, man. And
you have to have some pictures somewhere. I mean,
it is.
Especially
I was on stage in Mexico at the Mr. Mexico, and I guest posed. That was the last time I had that.
You make sure you sent me a picture with your striated glutes, because I want to put that in the podcast.
Okay.
Don't show me one line now. Come on now.
Yeah.
Huh?
They're not gonna be like a Munzer type ever. Like I said, I was never.
So what you're saying is 2000 guest posing in Mexico City.
Yeah.
That was your all-time biggest and kind of best.
Yeah.
So whoever is
would have
listening,
beat Bonnie that year. I'm telling you, brother. I would have beat
somebody who has the videotapes, please.
What happened? What happened? Why didn't you do the Olympia?
Well, I was over there and I was traveling. I did like 12 appearances over there. I was 2 months out, and I, to be honest, it was more like, I bought some things on the road. I was taking a little GH and taking a little. So I was doing my training. I'm training twice a day still, keeping my regimen up the whole time, doing my appearances and stuff.
2 months out, you were do long travels like this still? That's already
And I was,
crazy.
and I was, and I was. The bad thing is I had some serious stem, and I was like, okay, I'm leaving on this date, and I got all of this, and I'm like, shit, maybe I'll just take more, just to get rid of it, type of thing. And that was the biggest mistake in my life.
He says, I need to
How
get
much do you take?
18, the whole bottle, a day.
Yeah, but Serostine, I never thought Serostine was really potent.
Oh shit! You take that shit like that, you'll be fucking.
No, I'm telling you.
I'm just saying, but I
if you
told other people this, don't do it.
Yeah.
I told people don't do it. Oh, they brushed me out like, oh yeah, whatever. And then next thing you know, I ask them a little while later, you still doing it? Oh no. Yeah, okay. Because that will affect your blood sugar levels, and you will fucking it feel like you took a big old, like a cc full of insulin is what it'll feel like.
Why? It ups your blood sugar, not drops.
Well,
It's the opposite. It's the opposite.
I was foaming at the mouth. I went into a seizure.
Yeah, but that's because
was-
GH will up your blood sugar. So
Actually,
that's why I always
I
tell people when they have to go for blood work or do never take GH before you do that because your blood sugar will be high.
So I was in a hospital over there, and that's the thing is like, I remember I was dizzy. I was like,
Were you partying at that time a little bit?
No.
Yeah.
you guys about this, bro. Seriously,
Chris,
Chris, partying with what? I was competing.
correct me if I'm wrong, because you said I was training for the Olympia. I heard you went to the club the night before the fucking Olympia.
You heard.
I mean, is that bullshit?
Where'd you hear this from? Were they there with me?
Is it bullshit?
Yeah, it's bullshit, dude.
Hey, that is.
Some of these judges, listen, some of these judges.
I have to find it now. You remember?
Bro, I was thinking about this last night. I said, bro, talk about some of the good things I did instead of like what you think I did that you didn't.
No, I'm not. Listen. I'm not. I'm not.
People think.
I know.
That's not the truth.
But Chris,
listen. When I wasn't competing, yeah, I might have came in, in the early morning at a show, but I'm not competing, and I'm not even in competition mindset. Yeah, but they blended that in with the old age. Yeah. The old age set in, and they blended it all in. Like I was doing that before the show. Like, how the fuck could I be doing that before the show?
I said if somebody can do it, it's only Chris.
But
that was. Don't take us wrong.
No, it's not. It's not me. It's not me spreading that rumor. It's just I heard this shit from the first day I stepped foot into the U.S.
Yeah, Chris, it's not like Chris.
Everybody, people you hang out with, saying that too.
Yeah, were they there?
I guess I don't know.
Maybe would they do it?
I don't.
The only time I ever I left my room in Chicago, 1996. And I was like, oh, just going fucking for a walk. I ate all my food. I have nothing else to do. I was just chilling. I was like, I'll just go for a walk.
And ended up in the strip club.
Yeah.
Did you really?
Yeah, I did. I stepped into a strip club for like 30 minutes or so like that.
The night before the Olympia.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're different, bro.
I was walking around. I didn't drink anything. I didn't do anything.
He's different.
Did you catch that?
Water. I
had nothing else to do.
I was chilling. I was just like, just gonna go for a walk. Shit. So I went for a walk, and I was just in the city.
Just walking towards the strip club by accident.
I'm sure Chris knew where he was walking, that there was a strip club.
No.
Oh, you saying you accidentally stumbled up on the strip club and they said, just 30 minutes.
He thought it was a zoo.
I don't need to lie, brother.
No, okay.
I don't need to lie.
No,
but from that, I don't know if it was from that or so, but and I think I was doing a interview with one of the writers from Flex, but they're actually at my house one night, and we were talking like, oh yeah, And then at that time, I was training for the Olympia '99, and I was going to fly to Vegas only to get on the stage and to control the crowd, hit some shots, do some dancing on the stage because I was shy as hell. So I wanted to just throw myself out there before the show. Like I went out there like 4 weeks for a 4-month. I went out there for the weekend. I trained 5 days. I went out there for 2 days, flew back. I did that up until 5 weeks out, and that's when I stopped at 5 weeks out. But the legend has it that all of this happened right before the Olympia.
Yeah, but why would everybody be saying this for so many years?
It's easy to say, and it's good to.
Yeah, but why don't they say this by anybody else? Why is it always Chris?
Exactly, and then you hear people like Jay say, "Oh yeah, I was in the club, and I was, Ronnie was behind me in the club." Blah, blah, blah. But no one would ever say, "Oh man, he was in the club." If Jay was in the club. I left the club in Sound Factory.
I know, but that wasn't before not before the Olympia though.
And he was, yeah, exactly. It wasn't before the Olympia.
Yeah.
So it was never.
I've seen you in clubs before. I mean, come on. I mean, I'm not saying that.
So yeah, but people wouldn't say that about you.
Yeah, I don't understand because maybe because maybe
I met Victor Martinez in the Sound Factory. That's the first time I actually met him.
Yeah, maybe this is because maybe you did it more often, and people saw you more often, and that's why they remember Chris.
Yeah, something. Yeah, I was one of the first pro bodybuilders like around that type of scene.
Because I remember I remember the first time.
but trying to blend it in like I wasn't a hard worker.
Yeah. Why didn't you set the? But I remember watching.
I have. What you can't put.
No. I remember watching your documentary. Why didn't you say that there? That it, people think because you almost kind of confirmed.
No. You can manipulate a narrative how you want to manipulate it.
Of course you can.
And you can make the what's more popping for something like that is to, if everyone's reading questions and they're answering questions, but it made it seem like that's how everybody thought about me.
Yeah.
So no one thought I was a hard worker. No one thought I trained my ass off. No one thought that I.
That's not true. That's not true, Chris. That's not true.
But what I'm saying is, that's how you can spin it that way if you want.
You could, but they did. Nobody said you're not a hard worker. Nobody said you. Everybody. A lot of people say that if Chris would have been like, let's say, a Dorian, you would have been Mr. Olympia. You heard that before, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So, Milos, did you see Chris's documentary?
No, I didn't. As a matter of fact,
no, you got to watch it. And anybody, Chris,
I want to watch it. I'm going to watch it now.
Chris, where can they watch?
It's on Amazon Prime.
Amazon Prime. It's an awesome documentary, man. I watched that shit
right now as we shut off. But Chris, okay, let me tell you. Bro, we love you, and you're taking it wrong. Nobody has ever said Chris is not working hard. God damn, you train like a maniac. You used to train twice a day.
Over the years, brother.
No. I mean, listen.
Like, oh yeah, you didn't. If you would have worked hard, or if you would have.
How can you be one of the strongest guys?
If you wouldn't have went into a nightclub, you couldn't stay out of the clubs. Couldn't stay out of the clubs. That's kind of like not the truth, brother. Couldn't stay out of the clubs.
Yeah, it looks like you're taking it personally and you don't like it. So I
don't like it.
But I do want to tell you.
When you dedicated, you're 12. I'm 15 years old. I'm trying to be a bodybuilder at 15 years old, and I'm like, okay, I want to do this stuff. I want to be on the best. I want to make my mark on the sport. I'm still spending that's like 51 years ago.
You did make a mark, huge mark.
That's 50 years you spent in having a mindset, having the dedication it takes to be in the gym that long. But I've been in the gyms over 50 years now. So
I can already see the comments on Sunday where people say, I saw Chris there, and there was Chris.
Yeah.
Chris,
He should have been training.
Yeah, nobody is saying that you were not hard worker.
No,
You
no.
all say you are super talented, and you let yourself, like you just said, day before the Olympia, I had no better things to do, so I just went for a cardio, a little walk, straight into the strip
But
joint.
the thing is though, that year it was a lot
That
shit.
year,
My personal
yeah.
life, my personal life was like crazy, and that was, you know, some soul searching year for me. It was like nothing normal. I mean, you talking about someone that used to come from having. I used to have like all these people in my room, all these people around. It was like 20 people walking around me at different times.
How can you do
Like,
that? How can you have so many
yeah,
people around
like a
you?
damn. Oh my God. I don't know.
But isn't that because you invite them to come to you? I mean, if I want to be by myself because I'm getting ready for a show, there's no 20 people in my room. There might be 2 for a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If I let 20 people, that means you.
But listen, so they all start falling off.
But Chris, but that's your.
They got less and less and less and less and
Yeah.
less people.
But that's your personality, Chris. Your personality is you're a people's
I was
guy.
inviting. Yeah, I was inviting.
Yeah, you're a people's guy.
And I didn't, you know, I should have. That's what I said. You know, I had a lot of people around me that didn't have the same goals I had.
Right.
Didn't have the same. I don't know, that path to where you could be great.
Yeah.
It's not that many people like that on the earth, actually. And then to have, you know, people that didn't have those same goals, that's where I think, you know, it started to pull at my energy for, you know, going to a whole nother level where I could have, you know. And so you know, and then when I was on my way to go train with Dorian, then I'm like, okay, you know, Mannion was telling me I need to go just stay out there with Dorian for like 3 months and come back and just kill everybody. That was Mannion's message to me, you know, many times. But at this time we were talking. He was like, just go. I said, okay. So that's when I went to New Jersey, and then I'm like, okay. I told Dorian, I said, okay, get the house ready. He said somebody's staying with him. He didn't have a time to. I couldn't stay there at him, so he's going to find a spot for me to stay, and then we'll train. And then that time, that's when my back situation happened, and that's when I went into the coma and all that help at that time. But it was just about to happen, and that's the real tragedy for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, this was then, and now is now. Let's talk about the Arnold real quick. Hey,
Yep.
Antoine looks fucking crazy, doesn't he?
Yeah, in that picture 2 days ago, I don't know, I didn't see it today.
Yeah, no. I saw a few videos too. I mean, he looks.
I mean,
huh?
do you think it's like, you know, at some time, like if he could compete right now and bring that look to the stage,
Yeah.
like, is that gonna happen? I don't know that's gonna happen.
I can only go by what I see now. I don't know what he's going to bring to the stage, but what I see now is a healthy, detailed, fresh body. That's what it looks like to me.
Good condition last few shows.
Yes, he nailed it. Yeah,
Not look to the stage. That would be great for
yeah.
him.
Because he looked full, he looked really detailed. His skin looked great. I mean, he looked like he's got no fat. You know,
Yeah.
I mean,
It's going to be some transformation still from all these guys. You know, still going to be
right. I mean, he's probably pumped from a workout, but it doesn't matter. Everybody else does the same. Also, I saw Abdullah sent me some pictures from Justin Rodriguez. You know,
Abdullah?
Justin looks good too. You
Abdullah's
know,
working with him?
huh?
Abdullah's working with him?
Yeah, I guess he's been working with him. So anyway, so he looks. You remember Justin that one year when he looked, you know, he looked good in prejudging and somehow lost it. So he's kind of there, I guess. Now, is it enough for the other guys? I highly doubt it. But he's going to look good on stage. Then John De La Rosa. I'm just saying, John De La Rosa. Yeah, John De La Rosa. Listen, his comeback show was great. He looked really, really good. And now I think he can manage to look better than that coming into the Arnold. So now, if he can bring the leg sweep,
the lines in,
yes,
with what he's working with now with that, he has enough size, I think, for his stature. So if he can bring those lines in, I think that could be the ticket for him.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything from Akeem Williams, so I don't know.
One side chest,
And
side chest.
Yeah, and I haven't seen anything from Mo Shaban, so I can't really
Yeah,
say
there's one
anything.
picture with Sean Ray behind him.
Who? Where?
Mo Shaban yesterday.
On
Yeah,
what?
Sean
On
was having to do an old
Sean
Sean Ray
Ray
pose.
behind him.
a what post?
A Sean Ray pose. That's Sean's.
Yeah.
Sean.
Oh, it's on
Looks like
it's on Sean. It's on Sean's Instagram.
Probably. I
Oh,
don't know.
well, I have to look him up.
On Sean. I saw it somewhere, but I didn't see it on either. But
He looks like a good condition, you know. It just that particular pose
it wasn't right because it's Sean's pose.
really do it.
Oh, he did.
It's like, it's like if we gonna go. It's like if you gonna have Milo's breakdance with you back in the day with that.
Hey man, what's up?
With his hat to the side.
Well, guys, that brings us to our final, and this is what you really think, because there's no more after this one till the Arnold. So I'm going to take it to Chris first, and we're going for all top 6 this time. I want your top 6, final top 6 in particular order. There's no more changing it. There's no more going back and forth. It's all about losing followers now. Chris, you want to start, or you want me to start with Milos?
I'm gonna have a spot of tea and go with the British.
Okay, you're going with Samson. Okay.
It's tea time, isn't it?
By the way, Samson looks fucking great.
Yeah. I got the Persian Wolf second. I got Rafael. I have third. Fourth, I have. I'm gonna go with James. Then I'm gonna go with Horace and Antoine.
Good one. I already wrote mine down so nobody thinks I'm copying. See, mine's is already written. My top
And
6.
De La Rose is right there too. If he could bring that when I'm asked what I'm.
You want me? Hey, you want me to go top 7?
Put a dark horse.
Antoine / De La Rosa.
Yeah.
Okay. Ceramisco.
Nobody knows me as Mishka.
I know you're Mr.
But anyway, yeah. You know, so we jumped up to top 6 now. You're giving him a 7.
Yeah, I want to bring another name in there because we forgetting people that deserve.
Mishka seems more mysterious.
We forget people and they deserve to be mentioned. So I think this is our last Arnold prediction before the Arnold.
Yeah, for me, it's like fight for first and second is clear. Fight for third is clear, and then fight the guys that can maybe break it in. So I'm gonna go with this. Look, Samson, yeah, I've been saying, I see him winning. I see him at this point better than ever. Again, bigger than ever, leaner than ever. And we talk about this, of course. Persian Wolf is gonna come slide straight. We are not chasing anybody. Samson is focusing on himself and his strengths, and this is what it is. Oh, I need to beat Hadi. No, I don't need to beat anybody. I just need to bring it, and he's bringing it big time. Best bodybuilder in the world. I'm saying it right now. That
okay. Who's second? I'm sorry.
Second is going to be. Why are you rushing me? I don't have anything like Earth. So I'm bummed that I didn't ask something Earth, but I didn't know that he's going to go. Second place, the best Hadi we probably have seen in recent years. That's what I expect. I do expect him improved, and the best Hadi would not be enough to beat Samson. Okay, so that's the second place. Third place, the 3 guys I've been saying constantly, and I really see only 3 guys. Those other ones, I don't see them breaking into these 3, which would be Marcelo, James, and Rafa. Last week I gave Rafa, because the first time I've seen some pictures, some videos, and then he's talking about 15 pounds more. Then I projected 15 pounds more, seen a bigger back. I asked him what are the best poses that he has, back double biceps, right? And that back double biceps is going to be in direct comparison with the Marcelo, right? So those guys are going to be super competitive. Steve and Judge is going to mix them up over and over. That's going to be super interesting battle. I do think that, okay, Brandao has the biggest chances, but I'm being a coach of my two guys. I believe that we can beat him, both of them. So I'm gonna predict.
All your guys gonna be in the top 4 then.
Yeah. All four going to be in the top 3.
I'm gonna say this. I think James getting in this crazy condition is going to be very much appreciated. Complete full. I think we're gonna learn how to open up and look wider, and he's going to be super dangerous. Granite. Okay. Fourth.
Okay, so James in third. James.
Seen Marcelo's pictures yesterday.
Milos,
Right?
James in third.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm putting him back in third. We were going. It's very close, but now, as you said, my final thing, third, and Marcelo fourth, and Brandao fifth. It's not that I think less of Brandao, but I've seen Horse, and I think he's going to be there. He's motivated and physique that pose by pose. Yeah, the two Brazilians going. Who's going to be the best Brazilian? Rafa has advantage right now, but I believe in Horse. So that's top 5.
So who's
And then
sixth?
Six. Yeah, I love Antoine. Because he said that conditioning is 90s conditioning. He's working on a best posing award as well. He feels he's bringing it, and he wants to be in that first call out. I'm super impressed. That I don't want to say John De La Rosa doesn't have a chance, and I said once, oh, he doesn't have a size, and I'm sure that he's hearing it, and then he's going to be pissed off.
Well, somebody's going to be pissed.
I mean, listen, those guys, anybody can beat anybody at any given moment. Flip the coin, and this is what
you're one of the thing is that you're one of the best in the world. Is why we've been talking about you in the first place.
Yeah, I mean, what I keep saying about back in my time with Chris in the 90s. Okay, Chris and I were 9 and 10 going against Ronnie and Flex and Kevin and Lee Priest and Paul Gillette and shit like this, right? But what happens? 1 week, one guy win, next to it's completely different. It's that close. So if somebody like Chris would be in top condition, he wins. If you catch him, like you said, Dennis, before, you were going to the show against Chris to catch him a little bit off, and then you can beat him, right? So
that was the only chance I had.
So
there's no other chance.
Me too.
I wish.
I needed to see Chris in the strip club to know I have a shot.
Yeah, exactly. We would say, hey, you have nothing to do. Why don't you walk to the strip club?
But there was a time, going to Canada, I got beat by Mishko. He was Mishko at the time.
I smoked you.
See, I'm trying to give you your flowers, and you want to step on my hands, okay?
How often can I say that?
I'm trying to give you your flowers, man. And then there was a time when I saw Dennis the same. I was like, damn. I said, who the fuck is this guy?
He's coming. Tell me you're a word that I'm coming.
Well, bro, you was there. Okay. You had the shape. You had the look to beat a lot of people. So I thought you could beat me too at that time, because I'm like, fuck, this guy looks ain't nothing less than what Kevin is bringing. And Kevin was like he was like the standard at that time. So, yeah, I mean, there were given times when you guys hit your mark, and then there was times where, I felt, okay, I could beat this guy, but, and then, we had a little back and forth and stuff.
Yeah.
That shit was fun, though. It was like, that's what we wanted to be.
Right.
You want to be in a dogfight with somebody. You got to be like, fuck, I got to strategize against this guy for the next week.
Right. Milos, I still don't know who you have in sixth.
Oh, Antoine. I'm going to go with Antoine. I like combination of aesthetics, shape, conditioning, balance. Yeah, I think, yeah.
Okay, here's my final prediction. And I'll elaborate a little bit why.
Please.
I've been watching Samson and Hadi this whole time, big pictures, videos, and I can only go by what I see, okay? I always said Hadi's going to be at his all-time best. I have, and this is not a knock, I have a feeling that by looking at him, he's getting a little bit too big. I'm talking about Hadi. That for too much size, you lose a little bit of that, especially in the waist.
That's what you already don't have.
Either waist.
Listen, and it shows more now. When I compare Hadi to when he was super peeled 2, 3, 4 years ago, his waist was tinier. He had different flow to his physique. It doesn't flow the same anymore.
And the legs too.
Yeah, it doesn't flow the same anymore. So, therefore, I think that because Samson has a way better flow, Hadi still beats him in condition. I don't care how ripped Samson's going to be. I don't think he will ever outcondition Hadi. But they're separated in symmetry. The distance is now further than it was before. And for that, I got to go with Samson, man. I can't go against Samson at this moment because he has the symmetry. His symmetry is better than it was. Hadi's symmetry, in my eyes, this is just my opinion. Guys, listen, don't kill me for that. I'm just going by what I see. It might look different on stage. I will be doing a live broadcast, and I will be the one saying, oh, I'm eating my words right now. But I think that Hadi got a little bit too big trying to hang with Samson. And I think that hurts him. And I'm talking from experience. I did the same mistake, thinking, it's just the other way around. I tried to catch somebody to get bigger, and Hadi's trying to get bigger to keep someone away from him. And I think that's a mistake. Hopefully I'm wrong, but as of this time, I have Sam. No, I don't want people to get worse than they were before. I like everybody to be at their best. So, but for this time, I have Samson winning the Arnold. I got Hadi in second. Matter of fact, I'm gonna be really honest.
No, lie to us.
I have,
Say, what do you say? I'm going to be real honest.
I have a feeling that Rafael's going to be so much better than he was, that he could be a risk even to Hadi.
Oh.
Okay, so don't get me wrong. I'm just here. I'm pushing for, what could possibly happen. But I still have Hadi in second, but I think I have Rafael pushing. Now, Rafael is saying he's going to win the Arnold. So he knows something that we don't know yet. We haven't seen it. Okay, so Rafael in third. I have James in fourth because his condition is going to be probably next to Hadi the best with Antoine. That's why I have Antoine in fifth. It could easily be the other way around. It could easily be Antoine in fourth and James in fifth. That's just me. And Horst in sixth. Because I think...
So even though you've seen that Justin Rodriguez...
Yeah, no, I don't think he will be. Yeah, I don't think Justin Rodriguez is going to be good enough to beat some of these guys. I don't know. I might be wrong. Listen, guys, just because I'm saying this is my prediction, this doesn't mean that this is what's going to happen. Sure. This is just what I see from looking at pictures.
People don't realize. Okay, can Justin, John De La Rosa, Akim, Moshe Ban, any of those guys, can they beat? Like
they could very well be third, fourth, and fifth. The guys you just mentioned.
Yeah, it could be. It's just our prediction, which I'm glad that Dennis you call it a symmetry. It's more aesthetics, shape, and balance, right? I still think, as we talk many times, it's bodybuilding. The name of the sport is bodybuilding, building aesthetically pleasing physique. Not going for a condition. Otherwise, it would be Mr. Ripped or Mr. Dry or Mr.
Well, listen, but I mean this respectfully. I think that Samson's going to be his all-time best condition. So a big step better than he was at the Olympia. Because if he's not better condition-wise, he will not win this show.
Yeah, of course.
I don't care how much aesthetic he has. He needs to be better conditioned than he was at the Olympia. And for that, from what I see of him now, I see him, killing it, to be honest. And this is crazy if you look at it. If that really happens, then he's going to the Olympia as a favorite to be probably the only one that could beat Derek because he has the size, he has the aesthetics to beat a guy like Derek.
Hypothetically speaking, hypothetically speaking, none of the guys ever competed. Never. Hadi, Derek, Samson, Andrew, any, okay? And right now you see all the guys and the bodies and everything, and who would you favor? First time you see them, you don't know
Well,
nothing.
if Derek was super peeled from the front, like he's from the back, he's dangerous. He's dangerous. And I expect him to get there because he's young. I expect him to still get better. I don't think he's going to be that, and that's it. I think he's going to be extremely improved for
For
the
you, he
Olympia.
has a better body than Samson.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying that
That's what you're saying.
it balances itself out. I don't say he has a better body. I say he has similar. They're similar, great shapes, both of them. What Samson has a better flow in the chest, arms, and shoulders, and Derek has a better shoulder to waist ratio. So it balances kind of out. It's not that one is better than the other.
I think, but the thing that helps Derek is that shoulder to waist ratio.
Yes, that's why I'm not saying that he has a better physique than Samson, but I'm also not saying he has a worse physique.
And it shows up in the back also, the back double bicep. It shows that differential like that. You know.
Listen, it's no walk in the park for neither one of them.
But you know, if Samson would have been granted hard, waist tight as a drum, he would have probably won the Olympia last year. He definitely could have been an argument that he could have won it.
Yeah. So, thank you guys. That will bring us to the end. Bling, into the commercial.
So you're
Guys.
not doing anything for next week?
We'll
next
do
week?
one, but that will not air until the Sunday after the Arnold.
That's
Before
that's
Arnold,
right, right?
it's going to be.
We're gonna have another one next week, but that's not gonna air before the Arnold. You get it?
Yeah. I just, yeah, okay.
It's gonna air Sunday, so a day after.
All right.
So-
Who's coming?
I will
sorry.
tell you guys when it's time because I don't want everybody posted on Instagram before we even do it.
All right. He's a keeper.
Hey, are you going to the UK, Arnold? Are you going to the Arnold? You're not going.
I'm going to the Arnold, and I'm not sure if I'm going to the UK. It was in the room, and I'm still waiting. It's possible.
Okay. All right.
If they do the broadcast over there, then I'm going.
Okay.
Are you going?
Yeah, I'm gonna go.
Are you going with the company?
No, I think I'm gonna go.
Is BREON competing there?
Yeah.
Oh, he's competing. Okay. Oh, cool. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you didn't like particularly hearing about BREON not being improved. Huh?
Oh, Chris and clinch his butt cheeks together.
he
He
is
got-
improved. Oh, dude, he is improved. You can't say he didn't improve. You got bigger legs. You're gonna have bigger legs when you're
Yeah.
25. You're gonna have smaller legs when you're over 40.
Yeah, true.
You know that.
But in my opinion,
It's going to be a formidable component in any show. It just depends, you know, like you said, you only got like 4 shots. You got front double, back double, side chest, ab and thigh, and a classic shot.
but
that's
here's my opinion, Milos, because you mentioned something about back double, and I think that BREON has the best back double biceps of all of them.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous. Crazy.
The most detailed, the most. I mean, he looks like a he looks literally like them trophies that they used to give you.
And you know what keeps him going, Dennis? You saw it yourself. He has an unbelievable work ethic.
Yeah.
Work ethic.
Well, you have to have it. How old is he now? 42, 3?
Work.
44.
So
Yeah.
yes, I've pushed him a lot in the gym. He pushes himself. He gets up. He don't care if it's 3 times a day to do the cardio to get down. He's got it. But right now, he still has to suffer a lot to get down to that weight,
Yeah.
even though they gave a weight thing. But I don't know. I can't say when a person can work that hard. You can never really count those type of people out.
I feel the same. It's got to be frustrating for him to, come in better every time and still place lower.
Yeah.
He's going to do good.
I
I was gonna ask Urs and you guys, and then I forgot because I let him speak. Don't you think that we should add some more mandatory poses to the classic? It doesn't make sense that there is so few. And then another thing now, when everybody's going to be listening to this. What kind of mandatory? We don't need to necessarily have bodybuilding mandatories. Why don't we have a classic mandatories and decide what classic mandatories exemplify
Classic mandatory. Oh, different from the open?
but who decides what's classic? Because back in the classic times, people hit different side chests. So which one do you choose to be the classic pose?
Because that's up to the.
It's hard to do something like this. I mean, you either say side chest and you let them do it the way they want to do it, and that's why they add your favorite classic pose at the end.
Yeah, but all the mandatory poses are done for what? To assess your physique and all the body parts in balance.
Right.
So they choose this is okay. That's the minimum amount of angles, seeing a muscle from every angle and aspect. So that's how this is it. It's enough. We don't need it anymore. Then they added most muscular. Okay, that was 7, now 8. But the classic physique, why not anything else? Just front and back double. And
why didn't you ask that when Tarek was on?
I'm old. I'm old and I didn't sleep well.
Okay. Yeah. No, but listen, next time we get a judge on, that might be something to ask. Why not just...
Yeah, I was going to ask Urs, because he would be perfect to, okay, don't you wish you had...
I mean, nobody's going to say yes, no, because, I mean, look at for as an example, they don't do a front lat spread.
Right.
And I know. And I think front lat spread is Chris Bumstead's best shot.
Yeah. Many guys, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, but of course they're going to say yes, we welcome more poses, but it's not up to us.
Think about this, in the classic category, when you're going to say what they're looking for a V taper, right? The wide shoulders, small waist, okay. And then don't want to hit the pose that exemplifies this the best and the most.
That wasn't the thing. Because the first champion was Danny, and he don't have the big, wide shoulders.
Yeah, he didn't. But they didn't know what to look for then.
Yeah, it was still new.
Yeah.
Still new.
I don't know.
Still
all
new.
Right, guys.
All right, get out of here, man. Let's go. Peace out.
Hey, Chris, if you have nothing to do, why don't you walk to the
store? Walk to the store right next to the strip club.
Son of a bitch.